Everyone. Good day. Happy Friday. Happy holiday season around the corner. My name is Justin. I'm the head of Procurement Solutions at Odyssey Energy Solutions. It's my honor to be with you all this morning to discuss the world's most versatile inverter with solar specialist and storage specialist Akande Olawale from Lagos, Nigeria. Before we get into the presentation today, I just want to introduce Odyssey Procure for those who may not know us and what we can offer you and your renewable energy business from a supply chain perspective. So at Odyssey Energy Solutions, we help with all stages of a renewable energy project cycle. That's from planning and forecasting to financing with both concessional financing, supporting government projects, for instance, or projects funded by donors, as well as private financing with commercial. We have partnerships with a number of commercial and local, international commercial banks and local commercial banks across Africa. And then, of course, what we'll discuss today is we help with all aspects of procurement. And then we support with remote monitoring and controls once renewable energy assets are deployed to site. So we do this via hardware and software integrations at an inverter level, which helps us to understand the state of health of equipment. And this is more of an enhanced dashboard than a typical inverter may provide, because it also offers analytics related to the commercial aspects of a project, such as the return on investment. So we have that feature as well, of course, for Deye inverters as well. So back to procurement, what we do, let me come back to this slide. For procurement, what we do is we support with all aspects of a project procurement need. So number one, and usually often the most important piece, is the best pricing. So we have a number of framework agreements with international OEMs. We currently have 9, and we offer best price guarantee on equipment. We also offer better payment terms, which is an initiative that can take as low as 10 or 15% deposit on equipment. And then that can initiate an order where we will bring equipment to country, available in the countries of Kenya, Nigeria, and South Africa. Or if not in those countries, we can take equipment to port. So we can offer better payment terms than a supplier, working with your same suppliers. We can also offer informed procurement decisions, information about equipment, use case information on equipment, compatibility lists on equipment, essentially opening our technical support for you. And then, as mentioned, we can specifically offer supply chain support, getting equipment to a country, specifically Kenya, Nigeria, and South Africa. Oh, let me just go back here. We have a big team. We're spread all over the continent, from South Africa, Nigeria, and Kenya. And we're here to support with your procurement needs. You can engage with Odyssey Procure both offline and online. So if you're an OEM, or if you're a program manager for renewable energy projects, and you're looking for partner for supply chain partners or any aspect of procurement, you can engage with us offline. If you're a renewable energy company, you can engage with us online, and you can do this through visiting the website procure.odyssey.energy. And on this website, which you can see on my screen now, you can see incoming stock that we have available by country. Let me just sign out of this account for a moment. So you can come to this website. And if you don't have an account, you can create one today. It's free. You can click join the club. We'll ask for some information about your company. You'll be then sent a login. If you want to see pricing immediately, you can also register here by clicking local stock and registering from this link, and you will be automatically asked to create your own password and login. So then you can come to the site, you can log in. You can click which region you're logging in from, or just pick a region if you're not logging in from one of these countries. You can see which equipment is available. So in Nigeria, for instance, once you click local stock, you can see that we have this equipment in transit on the way to Nigeria, Huawei equipment. We have this equipment under potential pre-production for our next orders. And then we have this equipment available at our warehouse in Nigeria, which includes Deye inverters that we'll discuss. You can also click the equipment and access data sheets, information about financing terms, delivery information, warranty, etc. Common prices around pricing. You can see here, one is, is this Naira rate fixed? This Naira rate changes every day. However, the dollar rate is fixed, which you can see here. Similarly to Kenya, we have Deye inverters in transit to arrive mid-January. These are the units available. You can see prices in Kenyan shilling as well as dollars. And then lastly, you can also see the same in South Africa. Now, if you're interested in Deye and you're not coming from one of these geographies, you can get in touch with us today. And what we can do is offer you what we call our better payment terms. Our better payment terms is an initiative whereby we can collect as low as 10 or 15% deposit on your next order, including for Deye. We will then import everything to the country. We will request balance payment within 60 days after arrival into the country, into the warehouse. So if this is of interest to you, get in touch with us today and we will see what we can do. If you're not in Kenya, South Africa, or Nigeria, also get in touch and we may be able to provide better payment terms up to the port on your next procurements. The benefits of this solution are many, but it helps free up working capital for you as a company, helps better manage lead times. We take the logistics headache away from you, and we also are an authorized aftercare partner of Deye, and we can provide that support. So as mentioned, these are the equipment currently available. You can access here. Akande will tell us all about these pieces of equipment and the versatility and the benefits of them shortly. But please get in touch today if you're not already in touch. And lastly, we're happy to announce that those joining this webinar today will be provided a discount on their next purchase of Deye through Odyssey Procure. We'll put the details in the chat box. If you use the code Deye Versatility, you will receive a $40 discount on your next procurement per inverter. And if you wish to pay in local currency, then that can be translated at the rate available on Odyssey Procure's website. So get in touch today. Take advantage of this discount. Great to have you all on this webinar to learn and take a deeper dive into Deye. And without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to the main man right now, Mr. Akande Olawale from Lagos, Nigeria. Akande is a solar and storage expert. He's a frequent blogger, video blogger, and he has numerous resources available for those troubleshooting solar installation issues, as well as information about OEMs and the latest equipment, the latest trends available. So do follow Akande if you don't already, and he's a key partner of Odyssey. So it's great to have you here, Akande, to discuss Deye, and I'll turn it over to you, my friend. Oh, I forgot to mention an admin note. Please feel free to ask any questions throughout the webinar, and we will address them at the end of the webinar. So if anything's being addressed that you have a question about, inputs or compatibilities or voltage ranges, anything it is, please feel free to ask, and then we'll go through those at the end of the webinar. We try to allow at least 10 minutes to do so. So without further ado, Akande, over to you, my friend.
Thank you, Justin. I'm very excited to be here and to have this conversation. Many of you know me as the battery guy. Yes, I do talk about batteries, but I've been in the renewable energy game for, I think, 7 years now. And truthfully, it has been one of the most wonderful experiences, you know, working with these systems, talking about them, you know, installing them, which is quite exciting too. Many of you might not know, I love working with my hands, like doing a lot of stuff here and there. So it's good to be here, like I said. So let's go directly to my slides that I have here. Okay. All righty. All right. So right here, we have the most versatile inverter for Africa. It was originally named for Nigeria, but I think I got corrected there. That is basically for Africa, actually. Why Africa? One of the things that I've noticed in my, you know, journey as a solar person is a lot of people, you know, even till now, a lot of people still have that mindset that solar does not work. And this is most especially, you know, you would find it mostly in Africa. You know, conversations with people and they say, yeah, solar does not work. The inverter I got does not work. The battery I got does not work, and stuff like that. So, which is actually part of my research and to knowing, okay, what works? What are the systems that work? And I'll share you a story. One of the, I went for a meeting. I think it was at Component and Solution. There was a meeting hosted, you know, for Victron Inverter. And then one of their guys came. I think it's John. I'm not very sure anymore. I think it's John. So he said something. He said, people, you know, one of the mistakes that people make, especially when it comes to, you know, inverters, buying an inverter, getting something, is, you know, there's this urge to want to do something really big, like go all big and stuff. And it made me really realize that many times that people say the solar system does not work, you would find this, you know, sort of, I want to go all in, I want to do a 1 megawatt, I want to do something for this, I want to do something for that. And many times he also said this, he said, one of the issues that we have is, you know, installers, people that, you know, are on ground to actually do this stuff, and which is actually a very, very fundamental thing also, and also the equipment. So you cannot miss it when it comes to the equipment. I always say this because, and here's why I say it. Solar is an investment. Renewable energy, as if you're going into solar, if you're going into getting a battery, if you're getting an inverter, it's an investment. It's something that you want returns on. And many times that you get them, if you are not getting the value back from it, you know, it can be really annoying. It can be, it's not something that is exciting. So, you know, I really got me thinking, which is one of the reasons why I go into all this research, you know, finding what is the best, what is the easiest, okay, if I'm not going to go, even if I want to go big, what are the systems that I can use that, would support, that actual sense of big, and it will literally work. I've seen a lot of big systems that don't work anymore. I think I was in a school recently, and there's this, large container of, solar energy container. And I asked questions, and one of the things that I noticed is it does not work anymore. And it didn't even last for more than a year. So like I said, it's that actual idea of big. So, but if you're going big, what are the systems that you can actually use? What are where are the safe places that you can actually be? When it comes to inverters, solar panels, batteries and stuff. So that's really my own, the way I view solar, the way I view renewable energy. That's the reason I talk about it. That's the reason I'm so excited. Many people that know me know how excited I get when it's time to talk about batteries and talk about renewable energies and inverters and stuff like that. All right, so without further ado, let's jump right in. And I want to say this. I want you to enjoy every process of this. It's really my wish, for this Christmas. Sorry, I'm being all for this Christmas. That's everyone that listens to me in this season actually enjoys anything I'm going to be talking about. So if you are not enjoying it, please put something in the comment section. Let me know if you are not enjoying it. Maybe not. All right. Thank you. All right. So let's jump right in. So the revolution of hybrid inverters. So how did hybrid inverters, come to light? What are hybrid inverters really? So hybrid inverters have revolutionized the world of solar energy by enabling a smart, efficient storage and utilization of solar panels. So if you think of an hybrid inverter, an hybrid inverter is a combination of, when you see these big systems, you always see, when you see a normal system, it has charge controllers, it has your surge protection, it has basically everything, it has the inverter and so many other stuffs. And many times I always say that they always look, yeah, it's beautiful sometimes, but they always look a little bit out of place. Like there's just this here, there's this one here, there's that one there. But one of the things that, the hybrid inverters, they did is, is to combine many of those things into one. So now you have like the same charge controller, which is many times an MPPT. MPPT is the best, for your charge controllers and stuff like that. So it's really a revolution from what we used to have from, scanty systems where you see this year, to now having all in one. So what does your inverter do? Your inverter converts, DC power that comes from your battery to AC. So also, if you like in the hybrid case, you have also your DC coming in, which also charges your batteries. So that's basically what the hybrid inverter is all about. So instead of seeing that, that system with a whole bunch of things there, you now have, which I will basically show you in the course of this video, you now have something that is, that is stationed there and it works perfectly for you. All right. So why Deye? Deye, the game changer. The inverter is the best, piece of equipment. If you plan on using solar power, it converts DC current into AC energy, like I said, and charges your battery directly. The inverter also uses various control algorithms to optimize the power generated by solar panels. These algorithms include MPPT, which stands for maximum power point tracking. Like I said, it's basically what I was really trying to emphasize that it's a combination of two things. So you have the MPPT charge controller, and now you have what the conversion from DC to AC. That AC DC is direct current, which is normally what you get from your batteries, and AC is alternate current, which is the normal power that you use in your house. So if you look around you today, wherever you are, if you can see some sort of light bulb, if you can see a refrigerator, anything that you find around you, they are powered by AC power. So what the inverter does is it converts that direct current from your battery and it converts it to AC current so that you can actually use in the house. All right, so let's get right along. So Deye is the best choice globally. One of the things that I've noticed, and this actually got me off guard, for a while, is seeing Deye inverters. Because yes, I've installed the Deye inverters, the inverter. So when I saw names on them, like other names on them, I was really curious to know what is happening here. And this is also to tell you that the best things will always want to be replicated. So a lot of people have gone back to Deye and said, wow, we love your inverter. We want to OEM. We love your inverter. We want to be a part of what you are doing. We want to remodify your inverters. We want to give it our own name. So brands like Jinko, brands like SunSync, brands like Solac, for Deye, most especially, you know the Deye, like many of you know the Jinko Solar, because one of the things that they make solar panels and they have a name. I always tell people when I'm researching batteries, when I'm researching inverters and stuff like that, I always look for those that have a name. And one of the things that I learned from Justin actually is how long do you think they are going to last? So how long they will last is you finding out, what are the things that they've done? How did they create a name for themselves? Where are they? So many of those things. So I know that these guys are going to last when I see, that sort of consistency, when I see that sort of stand, that sort of spine, that we are here for you, and they've been doing it for a long time and they are still there. So that's basically, so companies worldwide have rebranded and modified Deye inverters to suit local markets. However, they are manufactured by Deye Inverter Technology. SunSync inverter are very popular in the UK and South Africa and are identical in hardware, but use different operating systems. So there might be some little bit of changes here and there, but majorly they are the same. They are produced by the same company. So that gives you an idea of, how strong this is, how good this is. Yeah. All right. So let's jump to the next thing. So what are the key features that the Deye has? It has a color touch screen, LCD display, and Wi-Fi monitoring. It has the high PV voltage range and dual MPPT. It is also compatible with common lithium batteries. So if you can think of it, one of the things I was talking to one of my friends recently. I'm sorry, I'm sharing a lot of stories, but it's basically part of it. That's why you have Solar with Akande here. I was talking to my friend recently, and he was talking about monitoring and stuff. And we got talking, and he said, how useful is it for an installer to install a system, and the system has a way that you can remotely monitor it? So we got talking, and I know he's someone that loves to share his ideas. And when he starts talking like that, I'm always like really into it. And what is he trying to say now? So he was talking about it, and he said, a lot of people, somebody was complaining about the fact that there are a lot of issues out there. People install solar system, and many times it might even be from the customer. The customer, it was the customer's fault that the inverter or the battery is bad or something is bad. And he said, how important is it to actually have remote monitoring? And I said, really, you can't, it's not something to joke with. You need remote monitoring, especially in this age where we have mobile phones, we have laptops, we have many things that, that make our life easy. So you need remote monitoring. It's very, very important. So I can basically see whatever is happening wherever I am in the world. So that's what the Wi-Fi monitoring is for. So Deye inverter has a dongle. When the dongle is plugged in, I think the port is somewhere around here. When the dongle is plugged in, you can have access. Once you have like a Wi-Fi device, you connect to the Wi-Fi, you go through, I think it's a SolarMan application. You go through the application, you can see whatever is happening on the system. And one of the beauty again is that because if your inverter, the Deye inverter is communicating with the batteries. You can see basically everything that is happening in the battery. You can see all the information that you need. If there's an abnormal shutdown, if there are errors, you can see them. You know, I remember a time that I finished installing the Deye inverter, and there was an issue with one of the solar panels. It's that bad. Like, and I kept getting this ground fault, a lot of, you know, faults and stuff like that. And I was able to, you know, I think that at that point, the customer had those solar panels, so he wanted to retain them. So we had to, like, you know, completely change the solar panels because there was a lot of faults, you know, showing on the PV side of the Deye inverter, and was changed. After it was changed, everything was working perfectly. So, you know, protections like that, things that, you know, you want to see and you want to know and stuff like that. So the dual MPPT, that means you can use the 2 ports of the MPPT, and also it's also compatible with common lithium batteries. So whatever, basically any type of lithium battery that you know that is here in Nigeria, in Africa, that you can think of, you know, is compatible with the Deye inverter. All right, so let's get right in. So, you know, when I was talking about the you know, inverters and stuff, and pardon me, I'm a big fan of Victron inverters. I've installed them, I've used them, I know how it works, but you don't want to go to some part of the East without carrying, you know, some things that you need. It's not like the Deye where you have, you know, monitoring. You can basically go, even if you have to go to the customer's place, you know, far from where you are as an installer, you know, you can go there, you can check basically what is happening, do settings, change settings and stuff like that. But with the Victron inverter, I can remember a time where I dropped a dongle that I was supposed to use. You know, and they had to, like, bring it in. Like, you know, you can't just make mistakes with this sort of inverters. They are quite big, and you can, as you can see here, like I said, it's the complex installation compared to a plug and play. Complex because you can see all the charge controllers, 4 of them. You have 2 inverters and a whole bunch of other things. The screen is right there beside it. That's something that when you even look at cost, that's another cost that you have to incur when you are, you know, getting these inverters and stuff. If you want something that you can actually, that you want to be able to, if you want to be able to see what is happening in your battery, see what is happening in the inverter, what you are generating, the generator, so many other things, you need this sort of screens to, you know, to be able to see those things, or else you might just get it like a laptop and a whole lot of dongles to connect to it, and, you know, before you can actually access them. So compared to the complex installation, you can see the Deye, you know, installation and how neat it is. You don't have a bunch of stuff over, like, up here and there. You can see the batteries neatly placed. You can see the inverter neatly placed. There are no charge controllers everywhere. And one of the beauty again is that it's also high voltage. The MPPT is basically high voltage, and I love high voltage. This is one of the reasons I love high voltage. You get to use slimmer cables. So in cases where you are running a lot of amps, you know, through the cables and stuff, you know, with all these systems, even with the Victron inverter, you need a lot of, you know, large cables, you know, especially if you have, like, if you have a lot of solar panels and stuff like that. With the Deye, you can use slimmer cables, you know, for your PV side. And that's also a plus, actually, because now you're not spending so much on cables, because what you are running with is, you know, high voltage, and it's basically one of the best out there. As long as your solar panels are connected in series, you can use either the PV1 or the PV2, connect them, and you're good to go. All right, so here's an overview of a Deye inverter. I don't think this is more of like an unboxing, some of the things that he has and stuff like that. Yes, we can just jump to the next thing. All right, so this is a technical sheet of the Deye inverter. I think what I put here is for the 8K, the 8 kilowatts. And as you can see, some of the features that he has: battery type, you can use lead acid or lithium. Battery voltage, this is for the 5 kilowatt, the 6 kilowatt, the 7.6 kilowatts, and the 8 kilowatts. So as you can see, you can the battery voltage from 40 to 60 volts. So basically around 48 volts, that we all know. max charging current at 120 amps. This increases, from inverter to inverter. From the 5 kilowatts, you can see 120, and the 8 kilowatt, you can get like 190. So a whole lot of extra stuff. The charging curve, that's the bulk absorption, equalization, and stuff. It supports it, so you can basically set all these things if you get your battery and stuff. So you can set all those, do all those stages, the settings and stuff. Charging strategy for lithium battery, self-adaptation to BMS. So once your inverter is basically connected to the battery, you have communication. There's a port, there's a on the part of the screen, there's a battery space. Once you click on it, you'll see your BMS, you see all the everything that is happening in your battery. You'll see if there are faults and stuff like that. Like I said, it's basically one of the best. Startup voltage, the PV side, you have close to 6,500 watts for the 5 kilowatts, and for the 8 kilowatts, you have close to 10,400 watts. That's how much power you can actually put on these guys, which is really, really much. So, and the rated power input voltage is 370. MPPT voltage range 125. The startup voltage is 125. The MPPT voltage range is 150 to 425. I think it gets up to 500, but to be on the safe side, you can do 425. All right, so rated AC output is 5,000. On the 6 kilowatt is 6,000. On the 7.6 kilowatt is 7,600. On the 8 kilowatt is 8,000. All right, so I need to start jumping from here. Max DC input. This is for the 12 kilowatt actually. The max DC input is 13. And jumps right from there. For the 12 kilowatts, it's basically a 3-phase system. So and it also has it's high voltage actually. So one of the things that you would notice here is there's a big difference between the two. So you can look at the battery voltage range. On the range for this one. Oh, sorry, I'm not seeing it. Okay, it says startup DC input voltage is 250 volts. So because it's high voltage, you want to go around 250 volts for that input voltage, and a whole bunch of other stuff which you can actually get if you're actually thinking of the 12 kilowatt. All right, so compatibility. One of like I said, there are a whole lot of batteries out there that it's compatible with. We have the BYD, we have the Deye also makes batteries. We have the Dye battery B4850. I think it's like a 50 amp hour, the Power Box F. We have UZ Energy, which is basically popular. Basically, all the first list are actually very popular batteries that we know of. The Aelbiot, the Alpha ESS have heard of it. The Kodak, Top Band, Shoto. I think there are a lot of people that bought the Shoto at a point. Yeah, even here in Nigeria, Dowell, Guitar, CF Energy, Wiko. I've installed the Wiko. One of the times that I even installed the Wiko was when I was actually using the Deye inverter, thanks to Dr. Solar, actually. Pylon Tech, I think the US 2000B, US 3000, US 2000C, and a whole bunch of other Pylon Tech, batteries. We've done one on the UP 5000 also. So you can also use it with your UP 5000 if that's what the battery that you have. Whole list of other batteries, the Rich, Green Rich, Obo, Solar MD. Solar MD is in South Africa. Also one of the best batteries out there. You can actually use this also with the Deye inverter. So Deye actually, took their time to, think about all these other batteries, and because you don't want to buy all these batteries and it's not compatible, it's going to be a stress on you. You want them to communicate, and that's one of the beauties of it, the communication. It helps it work better. It gives it it gives you access to see what is actually happening, and a whole bunch of other good stuff that you can actually think of. So also Felicity, which is actually very popular. I've talked about the Felicity a lot. Vestwoods, Green Solution, Vision Group, Sacred Sun, Genix Green, and a whole bunch of other batteries that are out there that are basically compatible with the Deye inverter. All right, so here is an overview of the LED display. As you can see on the left side, on the screen, you'll see a part where there's a PV. You'll see a part where it shows a description of the grid. You see a part where it shows a description of the battery. And you also see the last part, which is at the right side of your home. So this is basically, to run you through some of the things, like the basic things that you need to know that your system is actually working perfectly fine. And you'll see a lot of movements around there. If you look at my bottom right corner, the bottom right, you will see what is coming from the PV is around 3.49 kilowatts. That's 3,490 kilowatts. It's basically going into the battery, which is at 99%. And also from the battery, you'll see that the grid is off. So basically there's no grid coming in. So you'll see that it also goes directly into the home. So the home currently at the home is using 6.24 kilowatts. So you can see how much energy is actually pushing out and putting into the home. That basically, it helps you to basically understand what is happening. You get a time, you get basically everything. You can take pictures of it and not need to now go to your phone and say, okay, this is the time that I took this. On there, it also shows you the date and time that the this picture was taken and stuff like that. So it's just for that ease, that actual ease. And you can see basically everything that is going on around there. For the battery settings, you can see lithium mode, shutdown, your shutdown voltage, low battery voltage, percentage. In this case, it's percentage, restart percentage, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So, and on the left hand corner, the left bottom corner, you see, also a battery setting. Sorry, I'm a battery guy, and that's what I know. All right, so you also see the lithium. You see use battery voltage. That's where you can set if I want to use battery voltage or battery percentage. So you have two options. But in this case, on the right corner, on the top right corner, you see that what is used here is the battery percentage and not the voltage. So I can click in between the two. And I can also choose if there's no battery. So the MPPT basically, or the grid, acts as a bypass. All right. All right, so this is one application that I actually love, and that's why it's on here. You can also see from here the ease and some of the things that you can actually do with this system. The fact that you can put it in a box. It's basically IP65, so you can actually install them outside, but you don't want to dip into water. Some people can, do a lot of funny stuff like that. You don't want to dip into water, but you can keep it outside. You can leave it in a box like this. And one of the things that you will notice on this actual, constructed box is that it has a ventilation space. As long as there's ventilation space, that's basically cool too, and good and ready to go. And the batteries perfectly and properly, installed right there, and basically all you need to, some of you might have ideas like this. You want to install something like this. You've seen the plug and play system that I showed earlier, the ease of actually installing the systems. I think the word was actually used by Dr. Sola. He said this, it was talking about the fact that it is going away from all these ones where there are a lot of systems out there. Like there's this, there's that, there's this, there's that. And, it's just basically plug and play. Once you have connected your battery, it's plugged in. Basically, and the AC output is out, you are good to go. You are fine, basically. And that's just how it is. There's no stress in installing it. For installers out there, for people buying, you don't even need, you need a professional to install it, but there's not so much happening in there for that is beyond the norm, that especially when it comes to like other inverters and stuff. So we are almost getting to the end. So these are some of the FAQs, that people have, sent over time. I kind of collated them, and I'm going to be talking about them in a couple of minutes. All right. So someone said, what is the AC input? The AC input, is the alternate current. Like I said, the same DC, from DC to AC, DC is direct current, AC is alternate current. Your AC input is the same power that you get from the grid. I don't know if you understand that. There's the same power that you get from the grid. So once it's connected to the inverter, it helps you to charge your batteries. In most cases, it can act as a bypass or also charge your batteries and stuff. So AC input is pretty direct. It's the same power that you have in your house. That's why, for your appliances and stuff, you can take that same power from your grid and plug it into your inverter, and it works, to helps you to charge your batteries. So our Deye inverters, transformer based. I wrote a couple of things here, and that's because I don't want to go above a certain, I want to keep the words, perfectly for you. It says Deye inverters are transformerless. Unlike dedicated off-grid inverters, they don't have the peak surge power similar to similar sized inverters like Victrons or Schneider, which use large heavy-duty transformers. So when you see like the Victron and the Schneider inverters, one of the things that you will notice is that they have very big, transformers in them, this is basically used mainly for the surge. So if you have surge, when you think of your fridge, there are times, or your AC, there are times where there's a surge in power where it goes above the normal power that it is. So if your AC, that means your air conditioner, is around 1 kilowatt, there are times where it can get up to 1.2 kilowatt. This can happen based on probably there's a temperature kicked in and stuff like that, and it also goes down again and a whole bunch of stuff like that. But with the this is basically, you won't basically find transformers in the Deye inverters. So what are the failure rates? They are basically very low failure rates. You won't find a lot of inverters like Deye inverters out there that is damaged and stuff like that. And even if there are any cases like that, they have a lot of people that are working overtime to make sure that the system is up and running. They have a good customer care service. I know even here in Odyssey Procure, they can connect you with the customer service. They can help you to do basically anything. So there's little or no failure rates with the Deye inverter. So what types of Deye inverters are available? We've seen many of them. If I will go back here, the Sun 5K, the 5 kilowatt, the 6 kilowatt, the 7.6 kilowatt, the 8 kilowatts, and here the 10K. I know they have like two of these, Sun 10K GO3, and there's another one, Sun 10K GO4. So there are a whole lot of, even up till Sun 21K. So you have like a whole list of inverters out there. You can basically get any one of them. Can I use a Deye inverter for both grid side and off-grid systems? It can operate completely off-grid with or without solar panels. They are capable of supplying electricity to the grid, subject to local rules. Like here in Nigeria, we cannot supply power back to the grid. It depends on the rules of the country. There are countries like, I think, Australia, where you can sell power back to the grid, but the Deye inverter is basically, it's off grid, and it's basically you can use it on grid also. So that means like with the grid and without the grid. All right. So what is the efficiency of the Deye inverter? So some of the efficiencies, the MPPT efficiency is 99.90. The max efficiency is 97.60. Hero efficiency is 97% actually. So all these efficiencies, many of these inverters, there's always a loss of power here and there, AC input power and a whole bunch of other stuff. So with these inverters, maybe to an extent, you won't get 100% completely, but it's good when it's around 99, when it's around 97, and you're not losing a lot of power on there and stuff. So Deye inverters okay, what is the warranty period for Deye inverters? The warranty is around 5 years, and I think it can get up to 10 years in some specific cases. But I know majorly that it's 5 years. Are Deye inverters compatible with other solar equipment brands? Yes, they are. They are, like I showed you, it's compatible with many of those batteries. And when you think of solar panels also, it's basically compatible as long as it's a good brand. Yeah. So Deye inverters, do Deye inverters have monitoring capabilities? I mentioned that also. Yes, it does. It has monitoring capabilities. You can monitor them. You can look at what is happening when you are in that space, and even when you are far from that space. That means you are somewhere in the world. You can also, look at, look at what is happening in your system and stuff. So can I install a Deye inverter myself, or do I need a professional? Yes, you need a professional. For any system that you are installing, you basically need a professional. The professional will be able to, help you connect, check all the compatibilities, connect and make sure that they are monitoring, make sure that the battery is in a good state, make sure that everything is set properly, check the wires, quadruple check, make sure that there are no short circuits and stuff like that. So that is basically why you need a professional to install the Deye inverter. Are Deye inverters suitable for both residential and commercial use? Yes, they are. So you can basically use them in your home, in your office, in your marketplace, wherever you are. You can basically use the Deye inverters. What safety features do Deye inverters have? It has the over voltage protection, over current protection, ground fault protection, for current leakages and stuff. It has reverse polarity. That's if you put the positive where the negative is supposed to be and the negative where the positive is supposed to be. I've seen a big spark, with things like that. But there's a protection for things like this so that you don't damage the system. It has an over temperature protection. That means if the temperature goes above a particular level, the inverter can shut down just to protect it and stuff. It has surge protection in case of lightning strikes and power surge. You have a system that is ready to help you in cases like that. And also monitoring is also a protection because you want to know what is happening, like I said. All right, so can I expand my solar power system with additional Deye inverters? Yes, you can. You can parallel the Deye inverters as much as you want. Stuff. All right. I'm trying to get the particular figure, but I don't think I have it here. Maybe I didn't probably get that point. But I know that you can parallel them. You can have multiple systems. I know you can do close to 8. 8 is like the safest number I can mention now. Yeah. So are Deye inverters compatible with lithium-ion batteries? Yes, they are. I've mentioned them. Do Deye inverters have built-in cooling system? Yes, it uses heat sink. Some of the inverters use heat sink as a cooling system. That's to show you, because yes, definitely does not have transformers and a whole lot of heavy stuff working in there. So it's really, really helpful sometimes. And many of them also have fans to actually cool the system. For the bigger systems, you'll see fans in them and stuff. So can Deye inverters operate in extreme weather conditions? Yes, they can, but in most cases, it depends on what the extreme is. But you can, if you're thinking Africa, like, because this thing is directed to Africans, I don't think there's any weather condition that we have here that would not make the Deye operate. All right, so do Deye inverters comply with industry standards? Yes, they do. One of the reasons why a whole lot of people is jumping on the wagon to partner with Deye, even buy OEM with their inverters and change some things and stuff like that. Okay, so the last and not the least, last but not least, what maintenance is required for Deye inverters? I said this before: little or no maintenance. If there are any issues, there is always someone, to help you with some of the questions that you have, if there's anything happening and stuff. And one of the things that I found again is, I went online, searching for, what are people saying about the Deye inverter, and I saw, a lot of conversations happening. A lot of people talking about it. I saw one with DIY with Will Prowse. There's a whole lot of people talking about the Deye inverter, so you cannot miss it, with getting one. So, and that's it. All right. So, thank you very much.
Awesome, Akande. Thank you so much. Load of information, load of practical experience. Love how you broke it down for us, went through the data sheet one by one, went through the FAQs one by one. So amazing, man. Thank you so much. There's been some great questions rolling in, so let's get into those in just a minute. But before we do, we actually want to take a quick poll. So you can just take a moment. My colleague will share something on your screen, which is a poll about Deye inverters and hybrid inverters too. So if you could just take a moment and answer these questions, we'll then continue to our Q&A. Take your time. Feel free to be as detailed as you like. And then while you're doing that, just a reminder, those that attended this webinar today will be offered a special discount of $40 or the equivalent in Naira or Kenyan shilling, which is 2 locations where we have Deye inverters. In Nigeria, we have them in the warehouse, and in Kenya, we have them on the water. So they'll be in the warehouse soon. And you can receive the discount on your next inverter purchase. If you use the code Deye versatility to receive that discount, valid till the end of March next year. All right, so thank you for all who filled out the form, fill out the questionnaire. Thank you all for being here. Let's get into some of these questions. So you can probably see some of these two here, Akande. So I'll ask a few and then we'll kind of do them in groups. So how many units of these Deye inverters can be cascaded in single and 3-phase configuration? I think cascaded also probably meaning parallel. Oh, Akande, you're on mute, my friend.
Like I said in the course of the video, I think that totally depends on which system. But I don't have the specific figures, but I know you can do up to 8 of the Deye inverters in parallel. If there are more informations I can get, find a way to make sure I relay that back to you.
Thanks, Akande. I think just checking on our website here as well. I think it might be 10, up to 10 for some as well. Maybe if I can share my screen. It seems I can't share my screen right now, but yeah, I believe it's up to 10 for most of the units. So you can check. I'll send a link now, but we'll just double confirm that for the audience. Next question. Is it possible, is it compatible with SRNE lithium batteries? I'm not sure if that was on the list. We can check offline. I'm not sure if you have any further context, Akande.
I will check that out now. SRNE. No, I can't find it. How come this is the first time I'm hearing about SRNE? Or is there like a specific name? They might have like a specific name that is not here. So I can't find it in some of the lists that we have here. And we have a lot here.
Sure. Maybe it's because often what you see is the SRNE batteries is also SRNE is an inverter company, and often they only make them compatible with each other. Can the performance data on the Deye inverter display be exported, or is it view only?
That's the performance data can be, it depends on what you want actually. Exported in what sense? That means probably you might want to keep some of the informations that you have, but yes, you can view it, and basically depending on what that depends on what you want to export. Um, um, Definitely you should be able to.
Yeah, maybe I can add here too that we also have an integration with Odyssey's FernTech team, which offers remote monitoring controls, and there's a way to integrate for API that data as well as hardware if need be, but it can be integrated via API. But we could get into those details offline. It's a great question. Do you think it's safe to have lithium batteries in such box relying on natural cooling considering thermal runway?
Like I said, I showed a picture of the box. There are actual spaces, ventilation spaces in there. Maybe, and that's one of the reasons why it was actually installed outside. Yes, it's safe as long as you have ventilation, some sort of ventilation that goes into the box. Yes, it is safe.
Awesome. It is if the inverter is installed indoors, does it require other cooling, meaning like air conditioner?
That totally depends on the room temperature. I know the air has close to around, I think, around 65 degree. So it depends on the room temperature. I don't think, or if you have a lot of systems in there, you might need air conditioning. But if it's just basically one Deye inverter that you have in there, which is a little bit of batteries and stuff, you might not need air conditioning. But if there are a whole lot, because many of these systems sometimes they generate heat, and if you have a whole lot, like I said, you might need air conditioning just for for it to cool down a little bit.
Sure. Can it work only with solar panels without storage, like a grid tie
Yes,
inverter?
yes, it can.
Obviously, as you mentioned, also without panels as
Totally,
backup.
totally depends on what you want to use it for. So there are basic inverters for that. Actually, it's not every inverter that you would that there are some inverters that work with solar panels basically, and you can use the output energy. But for Deye inverters, I think I'm going to take that back. It doesn't. There are specific inverters for that. Um, it doesn't. You can act as a bypass. That's if you want to. You are connected. You connect the grid, but not with solar panels.
Sure. Okay. So not grid tie. Let's keep going. Uh, does Deye make PV string inverters? I believe the answer is no. This is just a hybrid inverter technology. We do have a partnership Odyssey Procure with the likes of Huawei, for instance, that make string inverters, GoodWe, SunGrow, many others. Are Deye inverters bidirectional, and can they be used with PV inverters?
Yes, that totally depends on what you want. You can use them with PV inverters. That's if you want to charge, charge your batteries from another source. So what the PV inverter does is you have your PV inverter, you connect, once your solars are basically connected in. So on the grid side of the Deye inverter, you can put in your output from the, the PV inverter, your output into the grid side of the Deye inverter. So it acts as, as the grid. So in cases like that, you can see the grid, the grid going directly into your batteries and stuff, into your home and other things. So yes, can.
Awesome, Akande. I think we'll take the other questions offline. We're at time. We want to respect everyone's time here to the hour. But thank you everyone for your questions. If we did not answer your questions, or if you'd like to take a deeper dive into some of the questions that were asked, which I know we'd love to offline, get in touch with your account manager. Your account manager is someone assigned to you once you register on the Odyssey Procure website. So on the website shared in the chat box, procure.odyssey.energy. And feel free to ask them any questions. We can connect. If they don't know the answer, we'll connect you to Akande. If we still don't know the answer, we'll connect to Deye directly, and we'll make sure we find the answer for you. Also, there's a question about this webinar and the recording. This will be made available on the Odyssey Procure website under the resources tab on the same website, as well as past webinars we've done with the likes of Huawei, Longi, Growatt, Jinko, so many others. So and Pylon Tech also with Akande. So feel free to access those webinars, the resources for you, as well as the entire website. And yeah, wishing everyone a great holiday. Thank you for joining this webinar. Thank you, Akande. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Justin.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.